Welcome back to the revolutionary People's Republic of Rome. When we left off, we had just defeated the Mamluks and seized all of their holdings that we required to form Rome. Next, we're going to attack Bulgaria. We're just going to let our army get into position and replenish its numbers, so let's do that right now. Our armies are in position. As you can see, they've grown quite large now, and I was thinking of how to divide them up. I don't really want to be roaming around with stacks of 100k. I'd much rather split them up into more reasonable sized armies. So I think what we'll do is divide them up into armies of 12, because that will result in the armies being around nearly 40,000 strong. Alrighty, we're ready now. Divided our army up into these little groups. Now you get yours, Bulgaria. The game does seem to think that they're stronger than us, but I really don't agree. Of course, because of their marriage union, Georgia will be joining in. We'll probably just ignore them though and focus on taking down land from Hungary. From Bulgaria even. We actually have access to the research that lets us bypass forts, so it's pretty easy for us to infiltrate the country, and it may be worth just immediately going for the capital so we can take it to start gaining the ticking war score. A big battle here at the capital of Bulgaria. We're pretty much just slicing through them. They don't even have a general for some reason. Their morale is very low compared to ours. We have 7 morale, they have 3. I'm not really sure why theirs is so low. We know why ours is so high though, being the revolution, and the revolutionary target gives us a 35% increase, and then plus all our other modifiers gives us a very high morale. Yes, look at that battle. 100k of them slaughtered versus only 10,000 of ours. With that, the Bulgarian capital is now occupied. Alright, we've pretty much full occupied Bulgaria. Unfortunately, they're not willing to make peace, mainly because of their vassals making them think they're a lot stronger than they would be. There's also the fact that we're leaving them fractured. Maybe we should do something like this. This would bring us pretty close, but it means we wouldn't be able to grab this territory up here. This is considered part of Rome, so I did want to grab it, but we can always come back for another war. We're going to have to come back for another war for this piece anyway. Should we bother annexing Albania? Yeah, I think we'll annex Albania. Now, we're going to begin preparing for our next war immediately. We're going to attack the Ottomans. The Ottomans are actually pretty weak overall, only around 70,000 regulars, and then backed by 100,000 levies. The main thing that says they're stronger is their alliance with the Timurids, but we barely even acknowledge the Timurids exist. Last time we went to war with the Ottomans, the Timurids never actually did anything to help. We wouldn't be surprised if the same thing happened here. Alright, Bulgaria, consider yourselves devoured. Ooh, now we need to decide what to do with the patriarchy here. Dissolving it would give us a lot of money. Right, it will give us a lot of money, but it will also give us this modifier, which decreases heretic tolerance by 2, whereas keeping it would give us this that increases heretic tolerance by 1. If we take a look at our tolerance of heretics is currently 3. 2 of that is coming from an event, so if we do decide to dissolve it, in reality it's going to -1, but that's a lot of gold. I suppose it's only 30,000 gold, it's not that much. I think we'll keep it then, just to make the heretics in our realm more happy. If you notice, the heretics in our realm are actually more happy than actual citizens of our main religion. Funny how things work out. That war, of course, brought Constantinople back under our control. Unfortunately, it looks like the name of Constantinople doesn't default back to being Constantinople, so I'm going to manually change it. There, Constantinople is back, as it should be. Bulgarians have retreated back to the steppe, where they belong, really. Right, here we go. We're going to declare war on the Ottomans. Should be a simple war. As I mentioned, the only thing that really they have going for them is the presence of the Timurids, who might not even be able to get to us because they weren't last time. They also have this tribe of Tabriz, who is their ally. Does Tabriz own any land that is considered Rome? A little bit. A little bit. We might try and take some of that land. Maybe not though. We might just rush their capital down and piece them out. While we're fighting the Ottomans, I'm actually going to start thinking about our next war. Maybe it's time to go after Hungary. They are allied with Castile though. Maybe with that in mind, maybe it's better to go for Castile. Castile has a marriage union though with Aragon, so maybe it'd be better to go for Castile, white peace Hungary, weaken them. We might be able to full annex Aragon as part of the war with Castile. Castile has a lot of rebellious vassals in the New World. Hopefully in a war with us, those vassals would take the advantage to declare independence. Might be a bit of a dream. If we weren't going to go for Castile, who would we go for? We could go for France maybe. They're only allied with Burgundy. They're actually France is actually in a marriage union with Great Britain. So if we fight France, we're also going to be fighting Great Britain. Maybe we'll leave them for later then. I think we'll just go for Castile and then we'll start to think about France afterwards. Maybe we should, depending on how the war with Castile goes, we might grab Portugal as well. The Ottomans have hit 20 war exhaustion again. I don't know why this keeps happening. Maybe their war exhaustion is just really high and they're not able to decrease it. But with that in mind, we can basically just take everything we want to take from them. I expected my war with the Ottomans to be more climactic, but I guess not. We don't have the option to force them to become a republic, do we? Unfortunately, giving power to the people would cost too much war score, so we won't be able to take the land we want. I think we'll just take what we need, peace out. Feels like cheating, but I mean, it's not my fault. I don't know why their war exhaustion's so high. The Ottomans have been exiled up to Theodoro. Not sure that's where they belong, but it's where they now are. Since that war went so fast, I haven't had time to build my spy network and my casus belli on steel, so we'll just head over. We can have some peaceful time for a little bit, let our manpower replenish, get our casus belli up online. There is currently a coalition against us, but it's pretty, pretty irrelevant. The Hansa, that's about it really. That Tabriz tribe we were talking about, some African nations, not a problem. We'll ignore them. After our war with the Ottomans and Bulgaria, we're now 700 locations away from forming Rome. We're definitely getting there. Behind all this, the number one thing we're investing our income into is building more barracks, or upgrading them at least to the new conscription center that we have access to. We really just want to balloon our manpower income, which isn't as high as I'd like it to be. There's our CB with the Castilians. I think we're immediately going to go. Our armies have replenished to full, so we can see that the game massively thinks we're more powerful than them. As discussed, we'll see what we can take. If we can, we'd like to get a connection to the Portuguese so we can start conquering them. We're actually going to start building a spy network in their land right now in preparation. For the Hungarians, we kind of just want to white piece them out so we can come back with a separate war so we can take land from them, because they're... I mean, we could hypothetically take a bit of land from them, but I'd rather focus my efforts on Castile, get them down as quickly as possible. So we're actually just going to walk straight to his capital, bypassing all his forts and siege it down. Then we'll start just sieging in the land in the area down, in the hopes that we can get him to peace out quickly. You know, one thing I missed from EU4, when I had multiple armies selected, I could press escape to deselect them one at a time. I can't do that here in EU5, which is annoying. Ooh, here's something of note. The revolution has happened in the Ming. This might actually be bad, because if the revolutionaries win, and they're probably going to, no, I don't know, maybe, Ming has an army of 200 million, although that's mainly just levies. The revolutionaries, on the other hand, have 100 million, but they're backed by a lot of regulars. To be fair, the Ming has a lot of regulars as well. Oh well, I'm not sure who will win. On the plus side, we might become the military hegemony if the Ming take a lot of casualties. We've actually been surpassed by an Indian nation as who has a higher amount of hegemony of military though, so maybe not. Either way, it's nice to see. But if they do win, they'll become the leader of the people's revolution, the peasant uprising. And we'll lose the benefits from being the leader, but not a big deal. I think we're going to declare war on France right now. Even though we're still at war with Castile, you may notice that there is 280,000 men gathered here. This is made up of France and his vassals and his allies' armies. There's British troops, there's Burgundian troops. There's no actual French troops here, though. So what I'm thinking is we declare war on France right now. We jump this 20,000 troops and perhaps stack wipe them, which will give us a big advantage in the coming war. It's kind of crazy. I almost don't want to do it. We can peace out Hungary in a second. We just need to wait for this war to have actually lasted a year, which is going to happen in March, and then they should be willing to peace out pretty easily. Aragon is nearly full occupied. We just need to occupy their African holdings. Castile is pretty much full occupied. There's just one location here I missed that I had to occupy. We're very close to being able to piece them out and take all of their land in Iberia, as well as the few locations they have up in France. So I think we shouldn't hesitate, we should just go. If France is going to show weakness, then we'll go for them, right? Let's do it. The revolution will spread to France. Hopefully we can white piece Great Britain in this war, because I'd rather... Well, we can't... There's not much land to retake from them outside of Great Britain itself, and we're probably not going to do a naval invasion, considering we don't have a navy anymore. So let's do it. There's 28,000. Can they match our legions? They're a lot bigger than us, obviously. Looks like the Bulgarians didn't join in the war. Maybe they were... Oh, maybe because they're outside their land, they became black flagged or exiled. Yeah, I think that's what's happened to them. Or maybe they just ran, because, I mean, we're winning. We're winning pretty well. Typical Burgundians betraying at the first sign of trouble. We're actually kind of losing on the morale front. They have a lot more discipline than us, I guess. Mainly stemming from the fact they have a 100 leader. This battle. We might actually lose, but we're going to have killed at least 100,000 of them. I don't know though. Their numbers are kind of collapsing, and we're not taking many casualties. We've broken one of their flanks. Looks like their center is about to go. There goes the center. Our flank also routed though. I'm not sure. It's going to be a little close. It's going to be a little close. Hard for me to say just from looking. It's a race between our morale and their actual manpower, because they're dying in the... Oh no, there we go. We lost. We killed 100,000 of them though. Lost 40,000 of our guys, but that's not a big deal. We can easily replace that. Overall, France actually has a million men in this war from them and all their allies. We'll just have to see how things go. As discussed, there goes Hungary. That should bring the war with Castile to a short close. The main problem is Castile has all these vassals. They're all very disloyal. They're what's keeping him in the war in a sense. French actually have decided to attack us, but we pretty easily won. The war's been going on less than a month, or about a month or two. There's already been nearly 200,000, more than 200,000 casualties. Speaking of casualties, looks like some British and Burgundian troops are kind of trapped behind our lines over here. Let's go say hello to them. With this war, we're going to fight a little differently, instead of making a beeline for their capital. Where is their capital, actually? It's over in Paris, where it belongs. We're going to let them enter our territory and try and stack wipe them, just to thin out their numbers. Speaking of thinning out their numbers, there goes 100,000 of them. The Aragonese have accepted their status. I believe this might not be full annexation, I'm not sure. I suppose we'll see. Nope, the Aragonese have been exiled to Africa, specifically I believe the Congo area, probably where they belong. Now the Castilians, we're still just going to have to wait for them to be more willing to peace out. If we're lucky, some of his vassals will start considering making peace, but for some reason they're very happy to fight the war for them, unfortunately, even though they're very rebellious. Even this guy, who's nearly a minus 100 stability, he's very happy to fight in the war. It looks like the disaster has ended. I never actually got the opportunity to select the Roman Napoleon. He just never spawned. But calmer times, we gained 50 stability. That's really nice. Going to put us at nearly halfway to 100 stability, obviously, which is going to do a lot to pacify the rebels in our nation. The people did vote pretty unanimously to not let the Roman Napoleon take power though. It was 75 votes in favour of staying a revolutionary republic and 28 votes in favour of becoming a revolutionary empire. It would have been nice if the Roman Napoleon had spawned though, just so we could see him. Alas. We've killed 500,000 of them, almost half of their actual overall army. I say we're doing pretty well. Coalition has actually decided to strike us. Look at them, they're surrounding us on all sides. I'm honestly not really worried about them. There's only 300,000 of them ordinarily. And I mean, who's in here of note? Portugal, Slovensk. That's about it for relevant nations after all. So I think we'll just ignore them and focus on our current wars. They're probably just trying to take advantage of our current war, but I don't think they're going to be able to do a good job of actually doing that. We'll let them bleed out from attrition, and then we'll probably just white peace them. Aliens are finally willing to give up. They've decided that just sitting here with their country full occupied isn't actually a war winner. We'll peace them out. I'm not sure if this will be a full annex, probably not. Nope, the Castilians have been exiled to Africa. In fact, was this actually a part of Rome? It was, I should have taken it, oh well. We're 400 locations from forming Rome. The Iberians are being exiled to Africa, name a more iconic duo. Now we can focus our full attention on the French. We've killed nearly a million of them. We're kind of just waiting for England to not want to fight anymore and peace out. Once that happens, I think it will be pretty easy for us to just sweep French. To be fair, it's pretty easy to sweep the French now. I'm mainly concerned about Britain's presence because they're bringing down because they're making the French more willing to keep fighting because the French think, oh, we've got loads of guys. We can easily keep fighting. It's like, yeah, but those are all the British. Those are all British soldiers and Britain doesn't help. Britain are not helping their allies, name a more iconic duo. There goes the Burgundians, we'll peace them out. We're not really going for land at the moment. We're very close to forming Rome. We just need 400 locations, 445. France, I don't think is going to have enough. So I'm thinking about our next war. In fact, we're running out of countries that have provinces that we can take. I guess there's Bulgaria. Has our truce expired with them? No, it's going to expire in 3 years, so it might be worth going for them again. I'm sure they'll have just these few provinces they have might have enough locations. There's always Georgia. They're currently in the coalition against us though, so they're not really an option. Let's just keep focusing on this war for the moment. I'll start building a spy network in Bulgaria in preparation. Another option is Hungary. We've got a truce with them though. The truce ends... Oh, it ends sooner than the Bulgarian one, so maybe they'll be the option. Britain's had enough. They're now going to abandon their French allies, and, well, they're not even allies, they're a marriage union, so they're French family, and return to their islands, where they belong. Now, how should we deal with the French? I think the obvious thing to do is snap up any territory they have behind our lines, obviously. Now, if we were to cut France in twain, would we cut them like this, and take their lands in Germania? Or we cut them like this. I suppose let's see how much land we can actually take, and then we can think about how we'd like to split them up. It's devilish, Seymour. It's devilish. But let's occupy the territory and see how much we could take with a full occupation. There's actually been a rebellion against us by Hungarians, but they immediately got stack wiped. They were those 25 guys here that died. So now Hungary has been drawn into a war with us. We could full annex the revolter, which would be Hungary, but we're not going to do that. We're going to fight them relatively, you know, respectfully and take some land from them. We might, which should help us become Rome. I would have preferred to do the old revolutionary CB on them, but, you know. I tried to keep those rebels down, but those 25 guys, they were just too rebellious. We couldn't keep them in check. All right, this is what our peace with France is going to look like. It's very greedy. Let's see, how close are we to forming Rome right now? We are 444 locations off. Let's take this land. We are now 242 locations off. Oh, actually, a lot of this land we took wasn't considered Rome. That's a mistake on our part. I think what we'll do with that land is we'll give it out to a republic that will then release as a vassal. Fortunately, we can't release the land right now because we're currently at war. Once the war's over, though, we'll think about how we're going to release it. Well, a blunder on my part. With that in mind, then, who should we go for next? I guess our only real option is Bulgaria. We're running out of people we can attack. I've just noticed that unfortunately we're not going to be able to take any land from the Hungarians because of how expensive it is to take it, since they count as a co-belligerent to the rebels, not as the actual country leading it. So I guess we'll just white peace them, then we can come back again in the future. It goes the Hungarians, that was easy. Now, as discussed, who should we go for? As I mentioned, we're 242 locations away. There's Portugal. We currently have a truce with them though. There's Burgundy. We have a truce with them, but that's not going to last very long. There's some Middle East. Maybe we should go back and grab some territory from the Middle Eastern nations. They don't have much though, but every little helps at this point. Georgia is probably one that would net us a lot of locations. I'm not sure how annoying it will be to fight Georgia. I think just Hungary, including their vassal Austria, would be enough. Of course, we're now in a truce with them, so that's not really an option. Bohemia. We haven't actually fought Bohemia. We do have a connection, so we could take land. Yeah, just taking a big bite out of Bohemia might be enough. Let's start building a spy network on them. Say hello to Loon, the republic we've created in this non-Roman territory. You know what's really annoying? Even though we're a revolutionary republic, the vassal we've released isn't a revolutionary republic. They haven't inherited any of our reforms. They're not a revolutionary republic or a people's republic. You can't even force them to become a revolutionary republic or people's republic, which is really annoying. Either way, we're just going to release them. They can do their own thing. They're probably just going to die, right? But that's not our problem. If they were actually a people's republic or a revolutionary republic, I'd think about actually trying to help them, but they're not, so I'm not. Instead, we're going to go attack Burgundy, Bulgaria. Funnily enough, Loon went on and formed the Netherlands. I suppose good for them. Right, truce is up. Time to attack Bulgaria. There's no way they can challenge us with their paltry forces. Only 50,000 regulars between them and Georgia. Right, we're going to peace out Bulgaria for all of their holdings in what is considered Rome. We're also going to take a little land from Georgia, just because they've also got Roman land, right? There we go. How close does that bring us to becoming Rome? 181 locations. I can almost taste it. Becomes a question of who do we go for next. We've got our truce with Hungary ends at the end of the year in October, so that's perfect. Our truce with the Portuguese ends in September. Maybe we could attack both. The Portuguese don't have any allies, they just have their many vassals, so we could definitely take advantage of that. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to attack both Portugal and Hungary. We'll split our army. We'll send, I don't know, half our legions to Portugal. It should be easy, Portugal, right? We'll full occupy them, and then we'll just turn around, I think, and focus on the Hungarians. And then that should be more than enough locations. Right, the time has come. Unfortunately, Portugal managed to join a coalition against us. It's not really got anyone of note in. Some Ottomans, some Egyptians, some Burgundians. It's not a big deal. We've also got a minor revolt by the Castilians. Again, not a big deal. Main thing holding us back is we need to wait for our diplomats to replenish so we can declare war. But as I said, not a big deal. Here we go. We're now going to declare war on Hungary. They're of course still in the marriage union with Aragon and Castile. Neither of those guys really can do anything to us now though. Castile still has a big colonial empire. I wish these guys would just rebel. There's no reason for them to stay loyal. Castile literally is, this is Castile. Like, is there a reason to stay loyal in this scenario? Right, Portugal, now you get yours. We're going to take all of their land. I don't know if this will be a full annexation. Probably not. But I'm not seeing any other Portuguese territory around. Is this controlled by Portugal directly? No, it's controlled by a vassal. Maybe this is a full annexation. I think it is actually. I guess we're full annexing Portugal. No one deserves it more. That does mean we gain all of their colonies, but if they declare independence, we'll just let them go, I think. Can't release them because we're just not allowed to. That brings us up to 94 locations from being able to form Rome. So close. We're definitely going to be able to do it from taking land from Hungary. What we need to do is just go beat up Castile though, in their one location down here. Make them want to peace out so that we can, so that Hungary will stop thinking, but my allies are so big. There's no reason for me to surrender. Is this the moment of truth? Goodbye, Hungary? Well, not goodbye. He still exists, of course. We form Rome. Still a few points off. Also, we have to be a hegemony. We've got a few revolts. We'll deal with them first. Then we'll see what the situation is. We are short 22 locations needed to form Rome. We've also lost the cultural hegemony to Ming. Ming has all the hegemonies. They're such a nuisance. We could just massively expand our military to take the front spot. I think it'd be pretty easy. Thing is, we need those extra locations. Before we think about anything else, let's think who we're going to attack. Not going to be Hungary, obviously. It's not going to be Bohemia. That would take too long. Well, not take too long, but I don't want to invest too much time in it. I guess we could go for some of these smaller countries here. Basra, which should probably have enough just on its own. Do they have any cool allies? Oh, are they a vassal? No, they vassalized Egypt. Is that correct? No, Egypt is their overlord. They're only a tributary though. Egypt would join in if we attacked them, but I'm not sure that's a big deal. We'll say they're a maybe. We'll start building a spy network in their nation. Oh wait, we can't build a spy network in their nation because they're a vassal. What a nuisance, what a nuisance. I guess there's Burgundy itself. They're allied with France and Poland though, so it might be a bit of a nuisance to go with them. We've also got a truce for 2 years, not that long. We'll start building a spy network. In fact, we've already got enough spy network to start creating the casus belli. Who else is there? There's Georgia. Surely they've got 22 locations here. There's also these tribes of Tabriz. I'm not sure if they have enough. They might do. They might do. We'll start building spy networks in both of them, and then we'll see where we're at. I'm going to start expanding our regular army, not with any real intent to use them, just to get us up to the pass Ming. It shouldn't be that hard, since a single regiment is 3,000 men. If we can look at the stats, we have 270,000, so 10 regiments would be 30,000, 20 would be 60,000, 30 would be 90,000. So we just need around 40 regiments, and then we'll take the military hegemony. We've got quite a big Catholic revolt against us, but that's fine. I kind of wanted them to revolt because now we can declare war. We couldn't declare war while they were revolting, so we're going to declare war on Tabriz, and that should be more than enough for us to achieve our glorious dreams of reviving Rome. Also, we'll send the boys around to deal with the revolters. Shouldn't be a big deal. It does count as a civil war though, so it does the old once we occupy land it switches sides thing. Also, I forgot to mention, but we are now the military hegemony. No one can defy us now, not that they really could before. Yo, we've done it. We could even form Carthage, wow. Let's make a save. The worst part of this is that the Ming kept taking the military hegemony from us, so we were kind of been in a cold war with them when it comes to taking the military hegemony. So, we're the Revolutionary Republic of Rome. Now, we'll first become Carthage. Oh, you can't become Carthage and Italy? Ooh. Is it because our capital isn't in Italy anymore? So if we move our capital, whatever, I'm too lazy to move my capital back, so let's just reload that save. So now we will form Italy. So now we're the Revolutionary Italian Republic. Let me just change the map mode so we get our new name. Doesn't want to change, whatever, and then we'll go become the Revolutionary Roman Republic. In reality, our name didn't change. We just became the Revolutionary Italian Republic and then the Revolutionary Roman. Beautiful. We could, if we really wanted to, go and form Europa. We only need 800 locations, so this isn't that much, but I don't think we'll bother. We've completed our goal. Rome is reborn as a People's Republic. A better player almost definitely could have done faster, but I intentionally placed lots of restrictions on myself, like not using vassals, for example. If I did this again, I would definitely use vassals, if only to deal with the more rebellious locations, which were hard to keep in check due to how far away they were from our capital, which led to low control. The average literacy on our country is 76%, which is honestly lower than it used to be. Probably because we just conquered a bunch of land. We did have around close to 90% literacy at one point. But if we look at these French locations, they're filled with uneducated people. Or maybe they're not. There are some uneducated. Let's actually go to the literacy map mode. That would be a lot smarter. Look at that green. Look how green it is. I'm surprised there's some places in Rome in Italy that aren't fully green. Why? It's probably pops that are converting. One of the annoying things is when a pop converts culture or religion, their literacy goes back to 0 and then has to tick up again, which is, as you can imagine, really bad for keeping high literacy around. Let's check the old cultural map mode. Culture's kind of spread quite a bit. We're seeing some Roman locations all over Italy and Africa, as well as some in Greece and the Balkans, as well as some in southern France and the Aragon side of Spain. Religion? Lollard's still not converting as fast as maybe it could have. We're starting to get some Lollards in Spain, of course, as well as in France. What's the biggest religion? Is it still Lollard? No, Catholic has retaken its rightful place as the largest religion, probably due to all that French territory we conquered. Sunni has also managed to retake second place, pushing Lollard down into third, Orthodox being fourth, and Luther's still enjoying their fifth place. We do have some Coptic Christians, though. Only a few, by a few I mean 1 million, mainly hanging out in the Armenia regions, where they belong. Our population is 146 million. There's a lot of us. How big is Ming? We can't really see Ming. We can kind of see it here. They're 179 million. So we're not quite as big as Ming, but we're big enough. If we want to expand and absorb the rest of the Europeans, we definitely overtake Ming. Let's look at the New World. We haven't really looked over there. What's their cultural makeup? As you can see, a lot of Bulgarians, a lot of Catholics, some glorious Polish inhabiting the New England area, then Swedes, loads of Swedes all across Northern America. We have a little colony of Medians here. I was hoping Elysium would diverge its culture, but it doesn't look like they have. They've stayed Median. Maybe they're actually the primary Median culture. Now that would be Tartarus, probably, because they're the one with the most people. It doesn't look like our colonies outside in New Zealand or Australia have really done anything since they've gained independence. They've just been chilling out. There's a lot of them though, 3 million. There's actually 46 Romans in Australia who've probably migrated there. None over in New Zealand though. What's the religious makeup of the New World? Nearly all Catholic as expected. Protestants over in the Lollar in the Sweden sections, and then Orthodox with the Bulgarian. There's quite a few Medians and Lollards over in Alaska because we actually colonized it. Surprisingly enough, this colony didn't end up dying. It's still there. It's very weak though. It's only got 4,000 potential levies, 300,000 pops. Then our colony on the other side in Siberia. They're even weaker, 2,000 levies and 200,000 pops. Looks like they're actually getting expanded into by the later Jin. They probably deserve it. Old Timur didn't seem to really get up to much. His nation doesn't look very big. It's only at 7 million with 200,000 soldiers. Guess Timur never achieved much of note. How's Africa? Again, it's largely divided up between the colonies. We've got mainly French, English, Castilian, Aragonese, and Portuguese. There's a few Medians roaming around though. Religious-wise, it's largely Catholic. There are some Anglicans though. Did England switch to Anglican? They're not Anglican, they're Catholic, but their colonies are Anglican. Maybe Anglicans spawned and they deported them to the colonies? I guess that would make sense. Or maybe England switched to Anglican and then switched back? I can't quite remember. There are 2 Anglican countries in the world. I wish I could see what they are. Well, there's this colony here. There must be another colony around that's also Anglican. Japan is Japanning as expected. It's horrible chaos. Japan hasn't been unified. Nobody really knows what's going on. There's only 10 of them left though within the Japanese shogunate, but I doubt it's going to be unified anytime soon. Horrible affairs all around in Japan, but I think we're going to leave it here. I'm not sure there's any reason for me to make another video, maybe to get these new reforms we have access to, like the University of the Peninsula. This is an Italian reform that gives max literacy. Or these Roman reforms like this one, SPQR and Pax Romana. but I'm not sure just researching a few extra advances is really that noteworthy. So as I said, I think we'll leave it here. If there's something you want to see, maybe I will make another video just going over some things, maybe talking about the campaign. If you're interested, do let me know. For now though, this is the end of the video. On the next video, I was thinking I'm going to wait until version 1.1 comes out for a big campaign, and I'm a little undecided on what campaign we're going to do. I'll probably have a poll, but on YouTube you can only have 4 options in a poll, and I have more than 4 options I want to think about. So what I'll probably do is, not today, because today's nearly over, but tomorrow I'll probably go on my Discord that's linked to my channel and just post a lot of ideas for upcoming campaigns. Feel free to join the Discord and share your ideas or comment on the ideas I propose. Then the best ideas from that I'll probably put into a poll on my community with a community post, and we'll vote on what we want to do. Do you remember one of the options will be Trebizond, which will receive an extra 10 votes due to failing in the Orthodox spinner that happened. But as to reiterate, this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and we'll probably see you next time.